everybody, what's happening? So welcome to my van build series number 2. I am rebuilding the entire inside of this 2001 Chevy Astro van again to make it a totally badass stealth camper van dwelling, and I'm going to film the whole thing and show you guys how I do it. Keep in mind that there are lots of different ways to do this. There's no strict hardcore this is the right way to do it. There's lots of ways. So this is actually the 3rd time I've rebuilt this thing. Actually technically the 4th, so I've learned a lot and I've got the design exactly how I want it now, within the confines of the space I'm limited to, but this van is going to be badass when I'm done with it. So the very first thing I did was obviously strip everything out, and then I cleaned the hell out of it, and the next step was leak testing, and I highly recommend this to everybody to do this on any kind of van. I wish I had known this before, because I had the big mold problem, and now I have a little bit of rust problem, and that could have all been avoided had I known that I needed to just leak test the van. So the way I did that is I took it to a car wash and got a pressure washer and tested all the seals and stuff, and the front was totally fixed now. I fixed that with a sealant, and the back up here was leaking, and I found the simplest, most incredible, ridiculously easy way to fix it. You just loosen these screws, and this thing moves backward and forward. And then there's another one down here. Check this out. Down here it does the same thing. It moves backwards and forwards. It's sweet, man. So easy. Okay, so as I said, I have a little bit of a rust problem. I've got a little rust here, and I got little spots of it just kind of all over the back, because the back here leaked really bad. All right, so I've cut my eyes way too many times, and it hurts way too much not to wear safety glasses. And I'm also wearing some leather gloves, long pants, and leather boots, and I got this little guy on my drill, and I'm just gonna attack these rust spots real quick. All right, I'm gonna need a little faster drill and a dust mask. I totally forgot that. I don't want to breathe this crap in. It's a little worse than I thought it was. All right, so I got a bigger drill. I couldn't find any face masks, but I did find some of my old underwear. Don't worry, it's clean, but this is dedication. Van life, baby, woo! Okay, that was a lot worse than I thought it was. Pretty sure I got at least most of it. That's a hair. Ugh. But yeah, I'm gonna sweep this out now and double check, make sure I got all the surface rust off. I'm really lucky that I caught this early, because this could have gotten a whole lot worse. Another free tip: if you're looking at a new vehicle, make sure you lift up the carpet, especially in the back on vans, because van back doors, for whatever reason, leak all the time. Yeah, lift up the carpet and see what you got going on on the paint. If you got like a bunch of blistering and rust, you might not want to buy it, because this is kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah. All right, this could be way worse than it is, and it looks like I got a little more work to do on some of this. There's just a little more rust showing. Trick is to get it all the way down to bare metal. Yeah, there's some spots up here I gotta hit again. These were the biggest 2 spots. This one, it looks like I got most of the way. A little bit more work to do on that one. A little bit on this one. It didn't go too deep. There's just lots of surface rust. You can see there was some up here too. And where there was surface rust, the paint just peeled right off. Oh, and by the way, in one of my videos, I said that my fridge might be leaking, and that might be part of the cause for the standing water in here. I verified that that is not the case. That fridge does not leak at all. So yeah, it was definitely the water leaks. So yeah, I'm gonna finish this up. But it is now day 2 and a little colder today, on and off with rain. So I got my fantastic fan in, and I'll talk about that in a second. But the next step of this prep is I got this Rust-Oleum primer that I'm gonna use, and it says you can put it over light rust, so I might not even touch up what's left. It's just very basic surface rust. So I'm gonna prep all this stuff and prime it, and then I got some cheap spray paint, because it doesn't really, I don't think it matters that much. I got some real cheap spray paint. I'm going to spray it, and first I'm going to cut this off and this and all the little tabs everywhere, and then after I prep the tabs and the floor for the paint, I'm going to set up the lid for this fantastic fan, because this thing is like super see-through. So you can see through it. That means all that sunlight's going to come down on me, and this thing's going to stick out quite a bit on top of the van. So I got this plasti dip, and I'm going to cover the top of this roof vent with white plasti dip so it looks white and it doesn't stand out as much. And also the lighter surface doesn't collect heat as much as the dark one. And I was talking to a buddy that did the same thing on his, and he said it didn't block out as much light. So I'm going to have to figure out something for the bottom. He used blackout material that he just glued to the bottom with this 3M90 contact adhesive spray. But I'm probably not going to do that because I don't want cloth on the bottom. I'm probably going to like glue some tin foil to it or something and paint the underside black. But that's what that's going to be. I am not going to film myself with the angle grinder cleaning the stuff up, just in case I shoot little sparks on my lens or something. I don't want to mess up my lens. This is a really expensive lens, so yeah. All right, so on to the next phase. I used a Sawzall and cut this way to cut these off on both sides, and then I took an angle grinder and rounded everything off and flattened it down to make sure it was totally flat and there were no sharp edges on it that could cut me. And I took a rag with just a teeny tiny bit of Dawn dish soap and cleaned all the rust spots I got up. There's just a tiny bit of surface rust on some of them, but I think it'll be all right with that paint, so I'm not too worried about it. Oh, I knocked down all these ones too. There's a little bit of nub left, but I'm not worried about that. I just didn't want the big thing sticking up that far. So I'm gonna let this this water dry. Oh, and after I did the soapy water, I did two just water. So I'm just letting that dry and put a layer of primer down. Probably, I don't know how many coats it says to put down. I'll do whatever the can says as far as coats. And then get started on plasti dipping the top of the roof vent. Woo! All right, so I got my first layer of primer down, and it's looking good. I'm gonna let it dry out for a little bit longer. It's about, I think, 65, 70 degrees today. So it's drying a little slower than it would have if I did it a few days ago when it was 100 out. But yeah, it's looking good. I got my first layer of, I always forget what this stuff's called unless it's right in front of me, plasti dip on the roof thing there. So yeah, it's looking good. I'm just gonna keep doing this today, and that's pretty much it for today. Next episode, I will be starting with the Luan on the sidewalls. I'll show you guys how I'm gonna cut that out and get a perfect fit, and probably talk about insulation too. And by that time, I should figure out what I'm gonna do with the Luan as far as painting it. I think I should probably put something on it to make it not able to grow mold on. It's a weird sentence. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Love yourself.